in Scientology, it's like they present it as almost like a basis where you can kind of come in and they will give you these opportunities that nobody else has. So they will offer, how to find an agent workshops, or how to break into the industry workshops, or how to, Nancy Cartwright was doing workshops at Celebrity Center International about voiceover work. None of these things have anything to do. The end product has nothing to do with actually getting an agent. They're not
Exactly.
telling you to put your resume or headshots to the William Morris agencies. They're not, or whatever, like they're the Gersh or Endeavor or
Hmm.
whatever. So they're not telling you to do those things. What they're basically saying at the end of an hour or an hour and a half is do successful communication, read
Right.
Dianetics, and that doesn't do anything necessarily for an actor other than get them into Scientology. And that's the purpose of these things. The purpose is for these young actors, let's say 18, 24, 25, is to get them into Scientology. It's not
Exactly.
even to get them into acting school. It's not telling them necessarily to do a demo reel, or to, if you're a voice
Exactly.
actor, to
Good
record
point.
voice, put yourself on YouTube. But they don't say anything like that. They want young
Good
actors to
point.
get into Scientology, because if they get big, which of course one out of every whatever million people do, then it's thanks to Scientology. And they have
Yep.
another Tom Cruise or John Travolta, whom, were doing well before Scientology and probably would have done well regardless of having Scientology. But Scientology got them in the period just before they became big. And so they associate that with Scientology. And that's really what they want. I mean, they just want young actors to become successful, to then get more people into Scientology through their osmosis
Exactly.
of their fame.
And the way they get people in is they have a I did a lot of extra work before I finally started getting real jobs, and a
Mhm.
lot of newbies and hopefuls come to Los Angeles and they line up outside of a place called Central Casting. So if you want to do background work and you're fresh to Hollywood, you used to get a magazine that was called Backstage West, and Scientology promotes in there as well as Central Casting. The first thing that a lot of people do is they want to just get a foot in the door. And so you go down to Central Casting, you stand out in a line that's got like 100 people long. You take your headshots, and then you pay them X amount of money, and then they'll call you to book you for background work. Scientology would hang out there at least once a week. We were talking about this again beforehand, Mark. They might be down there every day. Every time I was down there, there was somebody in Scientology shilling for him. But of course, since I was in Scientology at the time, I was like, "Go team" or whatever. But everybody else was kind of, you know, they didn't know it was a Scientologist, but they were constantly badgering people in line. And then when they get the people down, and by the way, guys, Steve Mango, I don't know if he's coming back to YouTube or not, but he's an ex-Scientologist who breaks this down too. He got sucked into it exactly the way that I'm about to describe. So when they hook you either at Central Casting via Backstage West or whatever, they then invite their little C level actors to come in and do a seminar. And just like Mark was talking about, it has nothing to do with how to get an agent, practical skills on how to do voiceover, none of that. The C-level celebrity comes in. Jason Doring, who was my best friend at the time, he would come in and do these fucking things.
One of
David
his sisters.
O'Donnell was fucking there, dude,
Yeah,
doing these things.
yeah.
And I was going to start doing these things once I made it too. We'll talk about that, how they, what happens when you do like started getting a foot in the door, because that's a crazy story. But long story short, they bring in the C-level actor. They say, Scientology helped me. It can help you too. They do a 15 or 20-minute spiel. The starry-eyed newbies are, like, oh my God, I'm looking at an actual celebrity there's only 15 people in this room and he's 5 feet away from me. So they do that to kind of get them the stars in their eyes. And then the very important uh, Scientology Sea Org member walks in and talks about how you need to sign up for this communication course, or how this study tech is going to help you, whatever. It's some Scientology course for 50 or $100 that they then bait and switch you, sell you into communication somehow is going to help you land an agent and all this bullshit. Now, mind you, you're taking a seminar that's literally titled, and they have them in the backstage, that says how to get an agent, how to get casting directors to see you. It has
Yes.
absolutely nothing to do with that. It's just to sell you a course, put you in a high pressure environment, and that's it. And this does work. I would say in a room of 15, 1 or 2 people I would see sign up at these things. So it's
Yep.
a numbers game.